ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 46, beginning from verse number 1. In the previous chapter we studied that Krishna went to Gurukula. He got education, then he gave Guru Dakshina to Sandipni Muni by bringing his dead son back from Yamloka, and then taking the blessings of his Guru, he came back to Mathura along with Sri Balram. And all the Mathuravasis were very happy to see him back. So in this chapter there is a different topic. This describes how Sri Krishna he sends Uddhava with the message to Vraja. That is the major topic of this and also the next chapter. So Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Vrishninam pravaro mantri Krishnasya daitah sakha Shishyo brihaspate sakshad Uddhavo buddhi sattamaha. So he says that among the Vrishnis, which is one of the clan of the Yadavas, there is best among them is Uddhava, who was minister or counselor of Krishna, Krishnasya mantri. So big people have their counselors taking counsel in different situations. But he was not only just an advisor or counselor, but he was also his Daita, his dear object of compassion, and also his friend. So this describes the characteristic of Uddhava, because Uddhava will be sent with the message, so he has to be a qualified person, especially if the message is not just that you write and deliver, but where he has to go and speak and describe. So person has to be very qualified, has to know Krishna well, his intention, his mood, his purpose. So therefore he selects Uddhava, and this sloka is describing the characteristics of Uddhava, that he is first of all Pravara, not only Vara but Pravara, he is the supreme among the Vishnus and Mantri, and Daita and Sakha. And this is in relationship with Krishna, but what is his individual qualification, education? He is disciple of Brihaspati. So Brihaspati is known as the guru of the Devas. So he is highly learned, and he is not disciple coming in some indirect discipleship, but sakshat, directly. Means he has directly studied from Brihaspati. When he studied, there is no mention, but it says here that sakshat Brihaspati, Sishya. And his name is Uddhava. So Uddhava means festival. That's what the word Uddhava means. Uddhava, Utsava, they are synonyms. So, and he is Buddhi Sattama. He is highly wise person, intelligent. So not only he is educated, but also he is wise. Means wisdom means how to make use of your knowledge. Knowledge means organized information, and wisdom means how to use that. So some people have knowledge but they are not wise, so they cannot make use of it. So this is what the consultants are. They not only they are knowledgeable, but they know how to use it and guide others. So this is what mantri means, is a consultant. So they have to have wisdom and also experience of different situations, how to sort them out. So that's why he is most qualified to be sent. So Buddhi Sattama. So there is commentary by Shri Viśvanātha. Satchatvarimshake goshtha gata uddhava uddhavam dadarshya ishayo Krishna virhavati anuddhavam. So in this 46th chapter, Goshtam Gatam Uddhava Uddhavam. So Uddhava goes to Goshta, means Vraja, and it's like festival going. Uddhavam Goshtam Gatam. And Uddhava Uddhavam, so it's used in both sense. His name is Uddhava, and Uddhava means festival. And Dadarsa Asya Ishayoho Krishna Virho Ati Anuddhavam. So he saw there the parents Nanda and Yashoda who were in separation from Krishna, and therefore there was no Uddhava, Anuddhava. Means they were not having a festival, but opposite of that, means they were in grief. So that's the subject of this chapter. Svavichedvatam vrajasthanam dukkham anusmritya tena swayam vyakulaha. So remembering the suffering of Brajvasis because of separation from himself, Krishna became very disturbed, Vyakula. His mind was unsettled, because that is the characteristic of love. So that's why in the Shantaras there is no love, because Shanta is Shanta, it is peaceful. So in love your heart becomes agitated when something happens to the object of your love. And it's not only that Brajvasis love Krishna, he also loves them equally. So he is remembering them. He was sitting on the bank of Yamuna and he remembers, because Yamuna reminds him of Vraj. And then he became very unhappy. So he is not unhappy for himself, but he is unhappy because of their unhappiness. So this is the distinction. So dukkham anusmritya vyakula. So par dukkha dukhi tat sukh sukhitvam. This is the characteristic of love, that you feel sukha when you see happiness in the object of your love, and you feel suffering, you suffer, you are in grief when you see the object of love suffering. So that's what is being described. Otherwise people become disturbed or in grief because of their own, not because of them or the person whom you love. Svavichedvatam vrajasthanam. And why are they suffering? They are suffering also not because of themselves, but because of Krishna. And they cannot see him, so they are worried. How is he doing there? There is no news, because there was no WhatsApp, there was no Facebook, no Instagram. So although Mathura is not very far, but when there is nothing, it looks very far. So dukkham anusmritya, not only smritya but anusmritya, means he was regularly remembering Brajvasi. His heart was here. Tena swayam vyakula. So he became very agitated. Tada dukkhaharam mat sandesham prapayitum tattat premanam cha sarvotkarsham khyapitum atra puriyam ko anurupa. So he wants to comfort them, console them, give them solace, and therefore he wants to send a message to them, mat sandesham prapayitum. But now he is thinking that who will take my message there? So it has to be somebody who is qualified, trustworthy, and wise person. So therefore he is thinking. That is one purpose. But then there is another purpose, that he actually wants to establish the supremacy of the love of Brajvasis. So therefore you also need a person who can understand that. Not simply go and give message and come back, but who can actually understand the depth of their love. And it is not easy to understand. It's not easy to understand what is love, and more difficult to understand love of Rajvasis. So sometimes people get married or they are having their partner, they cannot figure out really that the person with whom they are, that person actually loves them or does not love them. Right? This goes back and forth. Do you love me or not? So they live together but they can't figure it out. Sometimes it looks, sometimes it looks not. So many times there is fighting and quarreling only because of this. You don't love me. Right? Standard phrase, you don't love me. Do you really love me? And the other person says, I love you, I love you. But does he really love, or is only saying it? So there is a lot of verbal exchange of love. But is it truly there in the heart? That's very difficult to figure out. So only one who knows what is love, one who has experience of it, can understand it. Others can be fooled, which happens all the time. So therefore he wants somebody who can truly understand. And that's why he needs a person who is educated, not just some sentimental guy that's influenced. Sometimes you see some people read something or do something, then the tears are coming and people think, oh, he is full of love. May not be, maybe, but not necessarily. So therefore he wants to send a person who can do all this. So prapayetum tat premnam cha sarvotkarsham khyapayetum. So two things he wants to do, that carry the message so that they feel consoled. Maybe not, maybe, but at least he wants to make an effort. But the true purpose is to establish the greatness of their love. So he says that who is that person who is qualified for this job, for this errand. So he was thinking in his mind. Yakhalu vraja nagarasthaha tatrasyanam tattat premnam cha madhurya sudha sindhau khelitum kritpara sahasra tapasko asti iti paramrishati. So he is deliberating on this fact that who is that person that who can actually go and dive deep into the ocean of the sweetness of love of people. Tatra sthanam tattat premanam cha madhurya. So objects, people which are in Vraja and Nagarastha. This means he knows the intensity of the love of both. He also has to know the intensity of the people of Nagara, means Mathura Nagari. And then he has to know that, then only he will know which one is better. If he does not understand, then how he will compare? So Vraja Nagarastha Tatra Sthanam tattat premanam cha madhurya sindhu khelitum. So who can play in the ocean of sweetness, of love of the people of Vraja and Nagara. And obviously he says, Krita paraha sahasra tapasko asti. So this person must have performed thousands and thousands of austerities to come to this state. So, ko asti iti param rishati. So who is that? When he was thinking like this, then Bhagavati akasmat tatraiva agatam uddhavam tatkritya sadhakam gyapaitum vishnasti. So when Krishna was thinking like this, then suddenly Uddhava appeared there. And that Uddhava is being described here in this verse by Sukadeva Goswami. So, tatra kritya sadhakam gyapaitum. One who is able to accomplish this job is being described here in this sloka. So, Vrishninam sammataha. So, since some reading, instead of Vrishninam pravara, the word used is sammata. So that's the reading which Vishwanath Chakravarti has. Therefore he is using the word sammata, which means he was respected by them. So Vrishninam sammataha yado vamsyaihi sarvaireva pramanikrita vachana acharanadi ityartha. Which means that not only Vrishnis, but Vrishnis is indicative of all other Yadavas and different lineages among the Yadavas. So everybody considered him as very authentic person, knowledgeable, and they followed his behavior, vachana acharanadi. So his words and his behavior was accepted by them and honored, respected. Tena vrajat agatya yadayam tattat premanam anubhuya Shri Yashodanandayoho gopanam gopinam premna saubhagya utkarshan atratyebhyopi parasahasran vakshate. So this person, he will go to Vraja and come back, and then he will, after he has experienced the love of Nanda and Yashoda and the cowherd men and ladies, so having the experience of the love of these people and their greatness, and then he will know that they are superior, 1,000 times superior than the love of people of Mathura. Atra tebhyo api parasahasran vakshate. And then he will describe this, that how great is the love of residents of Vraja. Tatra sarve api vrishnayo visvasam prapsyanti. And then all the Vrishnis, they will believe it. Because if Krishna himself says, then they may not believe. He says he is biased because he is coming from there. So naturally he is going to sing songs of those people. So therefore he wants to send a third person. Otherwise you always try to glorify things which belong to you or somebody whom you love truly, then you praise that person. But if a neutral person praises, then that is unbiased. That is not biased, because you love, so you praise. But the person may not be actually like that. So therefore Uddhava should go, because Uddhava has never been to Braja and he is great here, he is respected here. So even if he goes and then he speaks about the greatness of Brajvasis, then that will actually impress the Mathura residents about the greatness of the love of Braja people. Yami Parmeshwar Putrakatveina Deva Vasudevayoreva Saubhagyasya Premanascha Sarvotkarsham Tatsambandhittvena Sveshameva cha tam manyante iti bhava. He says, at present all these Yadavas, they think that I am son of Vasudeva and Parmeshwara Putrakatveina, I am the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and they are related to them. So therefore they consider the fortune of Vasudeva and Devaki and their love as supreme. And through their relationship they consider also their own love as supreme. Because if you are related to some great person, then you also feel great. So therefore they think that who is better than us? We are friend of Vasudeva or brother or sister, whatever, nephew. They must have relationship in the family like that. And Krishna is the son of these people, so they are the best devotees or lover of him. And we are also a lover of him because he is one among us, he is born here. So therefore they have this pride of being great devotees. So he wants to send Uddhava. And Uddhava also may be thinking like that he is very close to Krishna, very dear to him. So it's great. So he wants that he should go there and see it firsthand, what it means to love. And then come and tell this. So this is why Uddhava is being sent there. So that is the significance of saying Vishninam Sammata. He is explaining why the word Vishninam Sammata or Vishninam Pravara was used here. What is the significance? So significance is that he is not just another Yadava, but someone who is very prominent, and therefore when he will speak, it will carry weight. So that's why he is chosen by Krishna. Then next is Mantri. Mantri iti Vrajasthanam Santvanam Yaya Mantranaya Sambhavet Tad Abhigyeti Bhava. So Mantri means one who gives mantrana. Mantrana means counsel or consultancy, or one who gives solution to the problem. That is called Mantri. So since he is Mantri, so that is his job. So therefore he is the best person to send there so that he can console them, he can speak to them. Otherwise you send someone else and that person does not know how to deal with the people. You have to, like you send sometimes what you call envoys from the government. So they go to other countries. Don't know envoy? Ambassador is one who stays in the country, but envoy means you are sent. It's like from America people come here, or go to China, here, there. So they have to be very expert in dealing, what to say, when to say, to make a deal with the other country. So that's why they are called minister. This minister word is coming from mantri only. Minister, mantri, Mandarin. Mandarin also comes from this mantra, mantri, mantrana. So, therefore he is suitable. That's why he says that he is mantri. So he is abhigya, means he is expert. And then Krishnasya dayeto vallabha ityateva braj prema sudhapana yogyata iti bhava. And then he is daita, he is very dear to Krishna. So which means he is qualified to drink the nectar of love of Rajvasis. That is the significance. And then his sakha, sakheti, his friend. So Vrajbhumau Sobalasyaiva Asyapi Ujjwal Ras Sanlap Vavadukatva. So just as in Vraja there is Subal, Krishna's friend. So there are different Narmasakha. So Narmasakha are those who are used sending message to the girlfriend, lovers, to the gopis. So therefore they are trustworthy and they can talk in Ujjwal Rasa, means relationship of love. So Ujjwal Ras Sanlapa Vavadukatva. Vavaduk means expert in talking. You have to go and get and convince the girl that you should actually love him. So then what you have to do? To speak in such a way that she becomes interested. So that is called Vavdukta. So he has to be like that. So that's why he's called Sakha. He is his friend. Means he knows his heart. So he can speak on his behalf. Hridi utpanna eva agrata tvad adhikam eva utpatsyate. So now his friend, so he has love in his heart. Hridi utpannam eva agrata tvad adhikam eva utpatsyate. But now he says that when you go there, you will even have more. तथा नोद्धवो अणु अपि मन्युनैति तृतीयोक्तेश्च कृष्ण तुल्यत्वात्. So friendship is between equals. Sakha means. So therefore there is a statement about Uddhava. Krishna himself says that no Uddhava anu api manyuna. Nyuna means less. So he says that Uddhava is not less than me even by one atom. Anu api. He is exactly, means he has same caliber qualities as I have. So that's why he is Sakha. He also looks like him and he was wearing dresses, same Prasad, Krishna Prasad. That's why when he will go there, gopis first misunderstood that Krishna has come. Because he looked like him. So that's why he says that Uddhava Nodhavo Anuapi Manyuna iti Trityoktesya Krishna Tulyatvat. Krishna Prati Murtina. So he is a Prati Murti. He is like an image of Krishna. In appearance also, in intelligence, in speech, in talk, in behavior. So therefore he is most suitable to go there. Otherwise he would have sent Balaram. So he doesn't send him. Because then message will not be conveyed. Anena Krishna Dautyam Sadhu Sampatsyate iti bhava. So therefore he will be the perfect person to be the messenger of Krishna. Because remember, Krishna earlier was also Krishna Datyakaihi. Earlier when he was sending. So now he is going to send the messenger from Mathura with a nice message. Brihaspati, then next thing is that he is disciple of Brihaspati. So Brihaspati Sakshat Shishya Ityasya Buddher Ati Takshnyam Drishtva Swameva Brihaspati Rimam Sarv Shastrani Adhyapayamasa. So he is a direct disciple of Brihaspati. And by seeing his sharp intelligence, Brihaspati taught him all subjects. Like Krishna studied everything from Sandipni Muni. So he studied from Brihaspati. But one topic he did not study. That can be taught only by the gopis. So he wants to make his education complete. He says, you have so many degrees, right? Sometimes people have multi-degrees in different subjects. So, but you have to have. There were people in India, there was one who had 16 graduate degrees. So he says, you need one more. Kintu ekasmin shastre Brihaspater api agamye asya nyunata asti. So, but only in one subject he is lacking, because that subject was not known to Brihaspati also. So Guru does not know how can he teach the disciple. So it needs Tataha sarva mukotottamam Krishna vashikarakam prem shastramenam Krishna daitatvat vraje gopika eva adhyapyasyanti iti bhava. So this is the topmost education. This is the limit of education. So dhai akhar prem ko padhe so pandit hoy. Pothi pad jag muwa pandit bhayo na koi. So people have studied big literature, nobody became a scholar. But if you can study what is love, then you are the greatest pandit, greatest scholar. This is what Kabir Das says. So therefore Uddhava is a pandit, he is a big scholar, learned man. But he still needs to learn what is prema. Therefore he says Sarva Mukutottamam, this is the topmost degree. And this degree is the degree of Prem Shastra. And this Prema Shastra is that which controls even Krishna. Krishna Vashikarakam Prema Shastram Enam Krishna Daitatvat. So because Uddhava is very dear to Krishna, therefore he wants his education to be complete. But he cannot teach this to him. This can be taught only by the gopis. There is no one else who is qualified to teach this. So he says, therefore, Vraja Gopika eva adhyapyasyanti iti bhava. That only they will teach. Because knowing one subject is one thing and able to teach it is another thing. There are people who are very highly educated but they cannot teach. They are not good teachers. So teaching is also an art. So he says that only he can teach. Only they can teach, the gopis, not Krishna. Buddhi Sattamait. So this was why he is called here as disciple of Brihaspati. And then Buddhi Sattama. He is the most intelligent. So Buddhi Sat, Buddhi Sattara, Buddhi Sattama. Topmost. Brain. To understand love, you have to be very smart. Dull-headed people cannot understand what is love. You have to be top intelligence. So that is the gopikas. For that, cow's butter, fine brain. Right? So if you drink buffalo milk or you drink A1 milk, that makes your mind dull. Then you cannot. So you need A2 milk of Braj cows. Then the lock of brain opens to understand love. So therefore he says he is called Buddhi Sattama. Ati Buddhi Matvat, highly intelligent. Tat Shastra Avdharana Kshamam Enam Krishnopi Rahasi Patta Mahishi Sabhayam Tat Shastram Eva Ashishyati. Because you have to study and then you have to hold that knowledge. Otherwise some people, they hear from one ear, goes out from the other ear. They don't, nothing stays in. So you have to capture knowledge. So that is medha. Another word for Sanskrit, medha. Medha means that which holds what you learn. Buddhi, medha, although both means intelligence, but the difference is that buddhi makes you understand, comprehend, and with medha you keep it. So medha, smriti, buddhi, semushi, all this. So he says we need a person like him to do this. So tatta shastra avdharan kshamena, he has the capacity to hold this knowledge. Otherwise you have a pot but it has a hole in it. So you pour some liquid, it goes out. So he can hold it. And then why he wants that, he says when he comes back, I will make him teach the lesson of love to my queens in Dwarka. Vachyeshyati. Tat shastram eva vachyeshyati. That shastra I will make him teach to the queens Patta Mahishi Sabhayam, in the assembly of the queens. And he did that. And then he says Tadeva Shrutva Vrajastriyo Yadvanchanti Pulandyastrinu Virudha Gavascharayato Gopaha Padasparsham Mahatmana Iti Yukti Matyaha Pat Mahishyopi Abhilashyanti. So later on the queens, they speak this statement. This is a very enigmatic sloka. They say that Padasparsham Mahatmana, that we want the touch of the feet of that great soul Krishna. So why they want their queens? They always have his feet. So not that feet, but they want Gopaha Gavas Chariyato Pulindyastrin Virudha Yad Vanchanti Vrajastri. That feet which are wished or liked or hankered for by the women of Vraja and the Pulindi women and the Trin Virudha, the creepers of Vraja, Gavas Chariyato, when each standing cows along with Gopas. Means the feet of Vraja, in which there is the kumkum which has touched from Radha. Those feet means that love, that is indicative of Radha's love. That's what we want. So this is the hidden meaning of this sloka. It will come later on. I think it's in the last chapter. So Tadeva Shrutva Vrajastriyo Yad Vanchanti Pulandyastrina Virudha Gavas Chareto Gopa Padasparsa Mahatmana Iti Yukti Matya. This Patta Mahishyo. So even they would desire this love, the love of Braj gopis. So how did they come to know? They came to know only through Uddhava. Uddhava ayam Vasudeva Bhratur Deva Bhagasya Putraha. Who is Uddhava? He is son of Vasudeva's brother, whose name is Devbhaga. So Devbhaga is uncle of Krishna and his son is Uddhava. Taduktam Harivamse This is stated in Harivansh Mahapurana. Uddhavo deva bhagasya mahabhaga suto bhavat iti yata evam kvachid anga mahabhaga iti Srinandena sambhodhishyate. So in Harivansh Mahapurana it is said that Uddhava is son of Devbhaga and he is highly fortunate Mahabhaga. And that's why Nanda Maharaj will also address him as Mahabhaga. So he is very fortunate because he is so intimate with Krishna. He is also his cousin, uncle's son, and he is the one who got the opportunity to come and learn the love of Vraja devotees. So that is Uddhava. And Sleshena Sakshat Uddhavo Murtiman Utsavai iti imam drishtva Vrajastha Utsavam Prapshanti iti bhava. And then his name is also Uddhava. So that's why he wants to send him to Vraja. So Uddhava means, as I said, Uddhava means Utsava, which means festival. So now they are in grief, so he should send somebody who is like a festival. So therefore he is sending Uddhava. So that he is Murti Manutsava. He is a festival personified. Wherever he goes, there is a festival. So Drishtva Vrajastha Utsavam Prapshanti. So when the Vrajvasis see him, they will celebrate as if the festival has come directly there. So that's the reason that he was sent. So this first sloka therefore is describing only this point why Uddhava was sent. Then sloka number 2. Grihit tamaha bhagwan preshtham bhaktam ekantinam kvachit grihitva panina panim prapannarti haro harihi. So once Krishna met him in a solitary place, ekantinam kvachit, and he is his very dear devotee, preshtham bhaktam. And Bhagavan Krishna spoke to him after taking his hand in his own hand. So Hari, who is called Prapanna Arti Hara, one who takes away the distress of surrendered devotees, that Hari, he took Uddhava's hand in his own hand, Panina Panim. So with one hand he caught hold of his hand like a friend, and then he spoke to him as follows. So Bhaktam Tatrapi Ekantinam. So he is devotee and he is a Ekanti Bhakta, one-pointed devotee, surrendered devotee. So what is Ekanti Bhakta is described here. Vihaya Pitri Devadin Parinishthāṅgato haro Tadgāḍha prema bhipūna Ekanti iti nigadyate. So this is the definition of Ekanti Bhakta, that who gives up parents, any other worshipable, and is fixed only in Krishna or Hari and has intense love for him. That is called Ekanti Bhakta. Iti tal lakshanam tatrapi preshtham. So he had these qualities, and on top of that his preshtha, teshu ati priti vishayam. He is also dear to Krishna. Not only that he has love for Krishna, he is Ekanti Bhakta of Krishna, but Krishna also loves him. Kvachit vivikta grihitva panina panimiti svavag vayagra dyotana. So one day Krishna, he was in a solitary place and Uddhava also came there. So then he took Uddhava's hand in his hand So he says this shows his vayagyarta, or uneasiness to send the message. He is eager to send message to the gopis. Prapanna matrasya api artihara kimut prema vachiromani nam rajasthanam. So Krishna is called here as Prapanna Artihara, one who takes away the distress of his surrendered devotees. Then if that is how he is, then how much more he is eager to take away the distress of gopis who are supreme lover of Krishna. Prem vat shiromanina. Rajasthanam, living in Braja. So this is the end of commentary. We will read the rest tomorrow. Any question? Purushottam Prabhu.
Yeah, this is mentioned several places also. Uddhava is a disciple of Jaspati. Is there any references made in which scripture, which Purana or something else, or whether it's in this life or previous life or anything like that?
I don't know, maybe Harivans Purana, because Harivans gives many details. But I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Krishna Saran Baba.
Pranam Babaji. I have some question about the section regarding the teaching of the quote Prema Shastra. Following the gloss of Bodhisattva, when it says that the Prema Shastra was taught in the assembly of the queens, was that taught by Uddhava or was that taught by Krishna to Uddhava?
No, because he says Vachishyati. So otherwise he would have said Vakshyati. If Krishna was going to teach to him, then it should be Vakshati, right? But he says Vachishyati, that is a Nich Pratyaya. Means he will make him teach. Enam. So Dutiya is coming here. Sometimes Tritiya comes, sometimes Dutiya. There is a sutra for that. So at least from this Vachisyati, it looks that he made him teach. And that makes sense because Tadeva Shrutva, hearing that the Pattamahishi Abhilashasyanti, that they desired. Otherwise, if he taught this to Uddhava, then why the Pattamahishi are going to desire it? So it means that it was taught to them because it says Pattamahishi Sabhayam Tat Shastram Eva Vachiyashyati. He will make him speak. Because there is no need to teach to Uddhava. Uddhava already learned. That's what we read about, that he sent him because this was one Shastra which was missing. So he said, Braja eva gopika eva adhyapishyanti iti bhava. That only gopis will teach him. So now there is no point now that Krishna teaches him. So it is Uddhava, or Krishna makes Uddhava speak to Pattamahishi.
I see. So Vachayishyati is positive.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm clear. Thank you.
Nij Pratyaya. Vach dhatu become Vachi when you apply Nij. And then Vachishyati. Set. Anything else? Yeah.
Mohiniji is asking, you explain the word mantri, meaning how to say, what to say, when, etc. Does the word mantra have anything to do with the meaning of mantri? If yes, could you please explain a little bit?
Yeah, what you speak is mantra. Mantra speaks mantra. Mantra is having other meaning. Mantra is not only when you do japa. Mantra also means counsel. What is spoken in secretively is called mantra, because mantra is given by Guru to the disciples. in a secret place, not publicly. That's why mantra is not supposed to be chanted publicly. So similarly, if you give counsel to somebody, that is in private, like you have your therapy, you don't want others to know. Right? It's a confidential thing. So that is mantra. Okay.